Hello and welcome to July 1st, where we're reading First Chronicles 18 through 22. Now, these chapters cover several of David's warfare campaigns and then successes. He was a warrior, he was known for war. That's why he wasn't allowed to build a temple. He was a man of bloodshed, and his victories kind of show that. And so, as you walk through these chapters, I don't have all that much to say on them. It's a lot of David's warfare. That's what he tends to do. When you open chapter 18, he fights a bunch of wars against, the Philistines and the Syrians and Zobah. I don't even know what Zobah is, and the Edomites and some other people. David wins all of them because God is with him. When you open chapter 19, there's a war with Ammon. David wins it because God is with him. When you open chapter 20, there's a war with Rabbah. David wins it because God is with him. Interestingly enough, that's also the city. It says that in chapter 20 that David remained in Jerusalem while Joab went to go and besiege Rabbah, and then he won it. If you want to check 2 Samuel chapter 11, which is David and Bathsheba, that happens while Joab is besieging Rabbah, and David stayed home and didn't have anything to do with it. But Second Chronicles doesn't mention that at all, or First Chronicles doesn't mention that at all. That's not that doesn't help serve the purpose of trying to establish David as a great leader, because he kind of does some bad things sometimes. And so that story is brushed aside because we're already familiar with it. We're talking about primarily the good aspects of David here, more so than the bad ones. Now, interestingly enough, when you open chapter 21, you do see the same census that's recorded in 2 Samuel. I think it's 24. It's the last chapter in that book. The military census, where David tries to survey how many people he has. And ultimately, God gets angry that he does that because, why are you trying to check your military when you could just check in with God, and God's won all the battles for you anyway. It's not about your great military. But David seems to misplace his priorities there. And so there is that instance recorded as David repents and turns back, because that is the location when David finally offers an offering to the Lord, to an acceptable offering to dispel the plague that's on the land. He does it on the grounds that will become the temple grounds. That's very important because David is a holy man. He's a religious man. He wants to build a temple for God. This is the location that sacrifice is going to be accepted. That's why that story's in there. It's not so much about David's evil as it is about David's repentance and David's return and David's want to be faithful to the Lord. And so as you get into chapter 22, you see David making just a ton of preparations, getting resources together and everything, getting ready so that his son Solomon can build the temple. He does everything possible to prepare Solomon for success, to allow him to just build the temple without any problems. I'll see you tomorrow, July 2nd, where we're reading 1 Chronicles 23 through 25, and you'll see a lot more of that.